Let's talk about misleading advertising and then get into the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending September 6, 2023. So if you watched our video, yesterday's video for the City of Toronto, I talked about misleading advertising, but specifically about a realtor that was advertising how you buy pre-construction and then when it comes ready to close, you've got all this equity built up because the value went up so much, and which was true a while back, years ago, not so much in this climate now. And I talked about it because it was very misleading, telling people they could do this now when we see tons of assignment sales and people that have closed on their condos selling below or the same or below what they paid for. Another type of advertising that I find very misleading, that drives me crazy every time I hear it, is these sold over asking ads, or we can get multiple offers on your property and sell it for way above list price. And you see these ads absolutely everywhere. They're on the radio, they're on billboards, they're on TV, and these realtors bragging about how they can get multiple offers and sell over the list price. The thing that drives me real crazy about that is that we can manufacture that. We could put a list price as realtors that's so low in any market condition that for sure there's going to be multiple offers on that property. And yes, we will sell over the list price. It's easy and simple to do. It's not something to brag about. Sold over list price is very different than sold over market value price. They never brag about that. I recently received a flyer in the mail, in my neighborhood, in my mailbox, and the realtor was bragging about selling the house. He had the picture of the house, was bragging about selling that over the list price, and he can do the same for me. And it's in my neighborhood. And I don't remember that home. I recognized the photo of the home. I knew which home it was. It was a specific home in the area. I don't remember that home recently selling. So I looked it up. And sure enough, that home did sell over the list price, and that realtor was the listing agent. But it was a year and a half ago. This agent is bragging selling a property, and he can do the same for me, but it was a year and a half ago. The market is different today. It's different today than it was just a month or two ago. Be careful about these misleading ads. They're absolutely everywhere. Just be careful what realtors are claiming. It may not make sense or may not be relevant to what's going on today. As always, who you hire matters. If you think this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. And if you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, selling, buying, we've made it really simple. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. So, be careful about these misleading real estate ads. You know the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Let's get into the numbers. Here we go. Here's a quick summary. This is for detached properties only for week ending September the 6th. Durham, Brampton, Mississauga. These are average sold prices for detached properties. Now I've got a star here because these numbers for week ending September 6th, the Labor Day long weekend is right in the middle of that. So you got to kind of understand long weekends already screw around with the numbers a little bit. When you're talking about the Labor Day long weekend, the weekend before and the weekend after is a little bit off. So let's get started. We've got Mississauga here. 21 detached properties were sold. 3 of those were at $2 million or more. Sales have been dropping and it's Labor Day long weekend. Average sold price went up a little bit to $1,141,000, way lower than where we were when we were at the high 1.6 million. So average sold price has been coming down. 1,441 is 10% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price of $1,230,000 is 6% lower than where we were a year ago. But median price and average sold price has been trending down. And I'm looking at the dotted line, which is the 4-week moving average. Sales, we said, were 21. 38% of those sold at list price or more. Listings. Now, look, it's the week leading up to Labor Day, the end of August. Lots of properties typically come off the market and then get relisted again in the fall. There's been lots of sellers over the course of the summer seeing what prices have been doing and have been on the fence about listing and have thought, I'm going to wait till the fall. Typically, we see a lot more listings in the fall or right after Labor Day. And if you saw yesterday's video in the City of Toronto, that's exactly what happened. Listings from 1 week to the next in the City of Toronto went up 79%. Toronto is following what we would expect to happen. Not so much here in Mississauga. Listings actually went down. Hard to explain. Maybe in the next few weeks we'll see listings popping up, but right now listings went down from the previous week. Months of inventory shot up to 5 months of inventory, but remember what I said, it's Labor Day weekend. Kind of look at that and don't put too much value in the months of inventory being that high. But overall, months of inventory has been increasing, and when months of inventory increases, average sold price tends to decrease. That's Mississauga. Let's look at Brampton. 38 detached properties were sold. 2 of those were at $2 million or more. Now 38, it's been since the beginning of August. That's kind of been give or take 1 or 2 sales. That's been pretty steady what the sales have been. Average sold price has been trending down. For week ending September 6th, average sold price is $1,139,000. 1,139 is 5% higher than where we were a year ago. The median price of $1,110,000 is 3% higher than where we were a year ago. And looking at the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, both median price and average sold price have been trending down in Brampton. And again, this is just for detached properties. Of the 38 that sold, a little over a third, 34% sold at list price or more. We used to be in the high 60s and 70s. We're now at 34%, and that's just in a span of 3 months. Listings. We expected more. We didn't get it. Listings came down from 1 week to the next, and months of inventory came down a little bit, sitting at 4.2. But overall, over the span of all of August, we've been in the 4s. We've been solid in a balanced market in Brampton for a while now. Months of inventory has been increasing and then kind of stayed a bit steady here. Here's the Durham region. Now for Durham, I'm using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as my Durham sample. 42 detached properties were sold. None of those were at $2 million or more. And 42, hey, since the beginning of August has kind of been, give or take a few sales each week, has been quite normal now. Average sold price came way down to $1,041,000. $1,041,000 is 2% lower than where we were a year ago. The median price of $1,027,000 is 2% higher year over year, and both median and average price has been trending down. 42 we said were sold, a little over half, 52% sold at list price or more. Durham continues to be one of our most competitive, if not the most competitive area across the GTA. Listings came down. Can't explain it. They came down. It's not at all what I expected. Months of inventory came down a bit also from the previous week, sitting at 1.5 months of inventory. Overall months of inventory slightly has been increasing, but we were at 0.7 and 1. We're now at 1.5. Let's see how things really play out when we're way past the whole Labor Day weekend. Next week, the week after, is really going to determine kind of where months of inventory are going to be at. Here's condos. Now this is for condo apartments for all of Peel region. 25 condos were sold. One of those was at $1 million or more. Average sold price came down slightly to $615,000. Overall price has been trending down. $615,000 is 3% lower than where we were a year ago. The median price of $607,000 is 3% higher than where we were a year ago. And if we look at the dotted line, it's the 4-week moving average. It's kind of hard to tell, but overall prices have been, well, it's actually pretty simple to tell on this part of the chart here. Prices have been trending down. Median price, not so much. 25 were sold, few, 16% sold at list price or more. Listings went up. Thank you. That's what we expect. When we leave August and go into September, we expect to see more listings. 104 were listed. The months of inventory sitting at 5.2 months of inventory. That's quite high. It's going to feel in a lot of apartment complexes very much a buyer's market where buyers are in charge, but pretty much we're in a balanced market. But in some areas, like I'm saying, it's going to feel like a buyer's market. Here's a quick summary. Months of inventory is way up there. Keep in mind that it is the weekend ending September 6th. The Labor Day long weekend is right in the middle, and that wreaks havoc with some of the data. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.